It's Happy Hour again from Uptown, New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Ferret Street, where they have food as well. So it's kind of more of a restaurant than just a bar. They have handcrafted food and spirits with a whole new menu and a radically new happy hour, which is 3 hours long every day, from 3 till 6, if you can believe that. Everything is half price, drinks and appetizers included. Wayfare is on Ferret Street. You can come here on the weekends too and indulge yourself in their awesome brunch. Which is great. Becky, you've been here before, right?
Yes.
Becky Hardin is with us today. Hey,
hello.
Becky, good to see you.
You too.
And also Beth Patterson. It's great to see Beth Patterson, isn't it, Andrew? I know that you
I actually saw her at a gig last night, yeah.
How was it?
It was great at the Hi-Ho Lounge.
We were like ships in the night.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm excited to see you because you're my friend on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
And I've never met you.
He's only got like 13 friends on Facebook, so that's really
I think
really
it's
nice.
down to 12 because somebody unfriended me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So,
Too many cute kittens
you know.
and...
So how did we get to be friends, Beth? Just somebody must have
maybe it's
friended
the Kiwi
someone.
connection.
It's maybe.
Yeah.
Because you
that's
spent
sweet.
some time in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It should be
Right.
a song.
The Kiwi Connection.
Yeah, that's nice.
It is. And you brought your bouzouki here.
I brought my bouzouki and I brought a shruti box.
A shruti box.
Yes.
Are you the only person in New Orleans who plays the bouzouki?
No.
Who's the other one?
Well, I had a few students over the years, and
You've taught bouzouki.
I've taught bouzouki. It's one of the more obscure jobs that you can take.
Can you give us a quick lesson?
Yes.
Okay, pull it up.
Okay. Well, rule number
what's
one is
lesson?
never point a bouzouki at anybody, even if it doesn't have any strings on it.
And so for people who are not looking at any photos of us and don't know what a bouzouki is, it looks like a guitar, but it's actually Greek, isn't it?
It is. It's a teardrop shaped. It's basically
Looks
like
like
a
a
big
big-
oversized mandolin.
Or it looks like a lute, I guess.
A lute or a pathological lyre. I don't know. Anyway.
Nice.
Pathological lyre.
Lyre like an
Right.
instrument,
Right.
Oh, lyre. L-Y-R-E.
Sorry.
Well, lyre is like a
nice.
harp-shaped
yes.
thing, isn't it?
Yes. Sorry.
It doesn't look anything like a lyre. That's a
It doesn't.
funny line.
It
yeah.
doesn't.
It's just a line, yeah. It's a good
cheap,
punchline.
Yeah, it's a cheap laugh.
It
I
was a
guess-
cheap shot.
Just throw it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any others you want to get off your chest before?
Not this early.
Okay.
You know, especially since this is not a visual show.
Right.
You know, there's several jokes that go right out the window.
Okay. Well, you can see photos of this on itsneworleans.com and also on our Facebook page if you want to know what a bouzouki looks like. I remember this is a Greek instrument that
It
you
is.
would hear in all these and played it
It
real
is.
fast.
Yeah, and
Do you do that? That's super fast.
I have done some gigs with some Greek musicians, but this is an instrument that got introduced to Irish music in the 60s.
Oh, it's Irish.
So this was made in Dublin. There's saying an Irish bouzouki. I've told people it's kind of like saying Mexican bagpipe.
Right.
Like what the
When
hell are
say
you?
that- here's a waitress walking around with an ice bag on her head after she fell over.
Oh dear.
When you say the 60s, are you talking about the 1960s?
The 1960s. It was not used in Irish music until then.
How did it get to Ireland in the 19th? That's a strange thing. The 19th.
Kind of a bunch of them washed up on the shore. And
Fortuitous rafting event.
Right.
Was
There
it
was
a potato
there was
famine?
one guy named Johnny Moynihan who brought one and had played in a cruise to Greece, brought one back, but then later brought in a flat-backed instrument when he was living in the Greek section of London. And a guy was making flat-backed instruments because these were originally round-back critters, you know.
This
what you
one's got a
associate.
flat back.
It does.
Okay.
And a guy who was making things like Appalachian dulcimers and dreadnought guitars, and he decided to make a flat-back bouzouki. And people just became enamored with the sound, especially with this sort of variation of tuning, especially because with the ballad boom, which sort of coincides with the folk revival here in America, the ballad boom in Ireland.
Thank God we got the folk revival.
Yeah,
The ballad boom,
The
that
ballad
sounds
boom,
awful.
and people weren't being purists. You know, now again you have
Excuse me, that's not the way that Blankstein played it back in 1974.
you know, but at the time people weren't being purists because they didn't have anything to compare it to. So people were experimenting with all kinds of things in the 60s, including bouzouki's.
So there's an Irish ballad genre.
Yes.
What is that? What's a typical Irish ballad that would we know one?
Typical Irish ballad would involve some amount of alcohol, usually roving out on a bright May morn, either
Okay.
getting pressed into the British Navy.
Okay.
Somebody's going to die.
Lose a
Somebody's
leg.
going to get drunk. Yeah.
So these are folk songs like Churalai, Uralai, Adderley, and those type.
Yeah.
Not really?
Well, some of those, it's not to be confused with these sort of parlor songs at the turn of the century, like Irish Eyes Are Smiling.
No.
It's probably
not
not
a
a good
ballad.
idea if it's probably not a good idea for me to throw up on a podcast. But
Why
Right.
not?
you know,
Sorry.
it's not to be confused with those parlor songs.
So what is it? Can you do like just a line or two of an Irish ballad?
Yeah.
That would be.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think of which one would be best represented. Black is the color of my true love's hair. His lips are like some roses fair. He's the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon he stands.
Beautiful.
That's just like a little snippet there.
Right, that's nice. Okay. So this thing's got 4 strings.
Well, 4 double strings. Yeah, it's got 8 strings.
So how is it tuned? Like a guitar or like a
Like-
ukulele?
Almost like an octave mandolin. If you took mandolin is tuned in straight fifths, like a fiddle or a tenor banjo or things like that. But then there's no standard way to tune this thing. But
Well, that's
tuning
the kind of instrument to learn, right?
Right.
There's no standard way
There
to
is
play
no
it, so you
standard
can't
way.
be wrong.
You cannot be wrong, or you'll always be wrong, depending on how you
Right,
look at it.
right.
But when I lived in Ireland for a while, went to school there at University College Cork, and a lot of my peers were using this tuning, taking what would be the high E and dropping it down to a D. So all of a sudden you've got 2 open strings that are an octave apart, so you can get this kind of drone sound. And that's also what the ballad boomers were sort of trying to simulate when they were experimenting with things like Appalachian music. So you can get a nice drone in 2 very open keys. You can
Okay,
get a
that's cool.
lot of that sort of
Right.
droning going on.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Becky?
Impressive.
Thank you.
I wish I had musical talent.
I was just going to say, do you
I
play
don't.
anything?
That's okay.
No.
I wish I had your figure.
I did work in music before City Surf. I did like festival production and kind of the back end of events. So I appreciate it and I understand that whole world, but
What do you mean
no
the
talent.
back end of events? What's that?
I worked, I did some large scale events and then I did stuff with like Wednesdays at the Square and Voodoo and
You were in production
those.
for those things.
more like marketing side.
There's a
so
big difference between Wednesdays at the Square and Voodoo. You
Yeah.
worked on
the
both of
spectrum.
those gigs?
I did artist
Wow.
transpo for Voodoo and then more like sponsorship, production, kind of artist relations for Wednesdays.
And that was proper jobs? I mean, it wasn't just volunteer stuff. There was actual job.
They'll pay you for that shit,
Yeah.
right?
They do pay for that.
I don't know. So how did you get, so what you do now is you own this business on Magazine Street.
Yeah,
called
I mean, I took
City
a hard
Surf.
left when I
Yeah.
did City Surf.
City Surf. So you're a trainer. You're a workout trainer.
Yeah, and I
That's
own
just why
it.
she looks so awesome. Beth.
I know.
Wondering how, it's every day you're working out all day, right?
Yeah, a buddy of ours started the concept in Dallas. The boards were on Shark Tank. That's where everybody kind of recognizes
yeah.
them
Oh,
from.
wow.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? So describe it's
Yeah,
like
so
surfing
we're
on.
group fitness and we do everything on a stability surfboard. So there's 3 balance balls and then a surfboard over it. So
Wow.
you're trying to balance on it and then doing a workout class. So we have yoga, bar, boot camp, circuits, a
So
little bit
when
of
I
everything.
when I go back to Australia, I'll have some
Yeah.
idea of what to do if somebody throws a surfboard at me.
Definitely, it
When I go
helps
back-
for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like exactly the same, but it definitely, you develop those muscles that you can only really get when you're surfing.
Yeah.
How often is the first timer going to fall off their board in the class?
Probably about 4 to 5 times.
Okay. And that, well, you
No,
know.
you
not
know
bad.
your body. if you're gonna fall off, you usually step off. You're a foot off the ground. So
Okay.
it's 50% mental, and most people kind of work themselves up, and the things that you think are gonna be really challenging end up being pretty easy.
Okay.
The stuff that's hard is like doing crunches on it. Things on your back, you know,
Oh.
people will roll off at that point. But
Yeah.
I've only had a couple people really like eat shit, and it's not that bad. It's a padded floor. You can handle it. But
Are there Snickers from the other classmates when people eat shit?
not really, because I think everybody's been in that position, because
Yeah.
everybody was a first timer
Right.
at some point.
Yeah.
So we have an awesome group of like regulars and members, and it's cool to see everybody kind of like, oh, it's your first class, like you're gonna be okay, it gets easier.
Nice, yeah.
So yeah,
And does it work out muscles the same as actual surfing?
it does. I mean, you don't have the momentum of surfing, so paddling out when you actually surf is probably the hardest part, but you train those ab muscles when you're going from like on your stomach to standing, and just that core when you're balancing. But it's super
Fantastic.
fun. So
And how's it going? Are
it's-
people showing up and doing it?
yeah, we're full, we're busy, so I'm
Wow.
ready for Tulane to come back. We have a big college crowd, so
yeah.
Yeah.
they've kind of fill in the gaps for those weird, 8:30 a.m.s or noon classes.
I
But-
thought the best thing about it is it's right next to Taqueria on Magazine Street there, which is
oh my gosh,
you can get
people
the margarita and go
Wait.
straight
yeah,
Where is this?
to Magazine Street, right near
we're
Taqueria
right next
Corona.
to Taqueria Corona.
Oh,
between
right,
State
okay.
and Illinois.
It's right next to it, in fact. It's a next door building.
Is there a long time plan that you sign up for, or can people just come in for a once-off?
Both. So we do single classes. You can do packages. We have memberships. We do 6 and 12 month, and when we do like a semester-long student membership. So we kind of have the whole range, and we have guides that do it too. It's not just chicks. So it's super fun. It's challenging, but it's always hard. It's always changing. So you really never get the same thing twice.
Nice.
Yeah, and we have a
How-
big backyard, so we do
Yeah,
happy
you
hours.
do have a big backyard.
Oh, cool.
That's
yeah,
a great spot
we did some
there.
crawfish boils, so obviously like boozing after class, so you're not,
It's okay.
falling on the board.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how did you get the idea? A friend of yours started it.
Yeah, a buddy of ours
So it's
started
like
it in Dallas.
It's like a chain across the country.
We're not
or-
a chain yet. We're still small startups. We're each independently owned. So we operate how we want. We have similar training, similar marketing. We share like a graphic artist, so she does all the same stuff for us. But, every studio has its own vibe, and we're
Right.
locally owned. So it's just myself and business partner. We're still kind of like a small little baby company.
Well, what made you want to do that instead of staying in music production, which would seem like a lot less stress and physical work?
I love the music production side of things, and my hours were just crazy. I was working all the time, and you all know,
Yeah.
crazy nights, super nuts, traveling all the time, and I think I was just getting burned out. And then I'd taken a class in Dallas. We'd visited some friends, and I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, this would kick ass in New Orleans. Let's do it. So we raised a little money, and we're like, all right, found this great spot, which was the hardest part, and opened in November. So we haven't even been there a year yet. But it's been great, and it's cool. I grew up around surfing. I grew up in South Florida, so the whole surf culture has always been like near and dear to my heart. So it's kind of a cool way to bring it here.
Did you grow up surfing?
I surfed in college. I went to college in Jacksonville Beach. I mean, I wasn't any good.
How
Tried
cool
to
is
surf,
that, though?
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
Where did you grow up, Beth? Where are you from?
I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana.
From Lafayette? Not much
I'm
surfing
from
in
Caden-
Lafayette.
not
Alison,
much-
our photographer is from Lafayette, too.
You know what I was going to say, because you sounded a little bit familiar. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, she's got
oh,
a
yeah,
Maya.
she's one of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
tell just by looking at her.
Well, as soon as we start talking about your mama and your papa. Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Where are
that's
you
where
from?
Well, my dad grew up in Erath.
Erath.
Born in Kaplan, yeah.
What is that?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, not far from Lafayette, so Cajun country for sure. It's Duhon, not Duhon,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there's certain things that only people from our vicinity are going to understand. Playing last night, sitting in with the Big Easy Playboys, and the drummer and I actually went to high school together.
Nice.
So all of a sudden there are things that are twice as funny because there are these, it gets that little funny center in your brain.
Yeah.
I just about died. Last week I was in Lafayette and I was at the gym with my mom, and somebody said something about, going through a yoga stretch, said, it's like you're trying to put out a Melvin, which is the local term for a wedgie. And I just about died. I was like, I have not heard that in 20 years.
There's a
Nice.
special Lafayette term for wedgie?
Yeah.
Special.
Well,
Why
it's
is
Gainesville, Florida, they call it a tweet.
Oh.
Really?
Yes. Gainesville, Florida, they call wedgies tweets, which
What?
makes me wonder what happens when they get on Twitter.
What part of Florida is that?
Gainesville?
Gainesville, you said. Okay.
Yes.
I wonder why people have different cultural words for wedgie. Is that not sort of
I feel like it's
I
not a
don't know.
common term people are using all the time.
I don't know. Is there
Exactly. When's the last time you even said that?
mean-
High school, maybe?
You only want the locals to know what you're talking about when
Melvin.
you're talking
Right.
Reggie, you know? You don't want the
Yeah.
visitors to know what's going down, you know?
Melvin,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I know.
So what does your mom do up there?
Well, she's retired. She's a French professor. My parents are both retired. My father taught math. My mother taught French.
At UL?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've really gone off the rails.
yeah. In more ways than one.
Yeah.
I lived in Ireland for a while, and then I spent a good bit of time in Australia and New Zealand. And
Well, you made a lot of mistakes, and now you're the only one of how many bouzouki players in New Orleans? So that's something. At least.
Well, we have, bouzouki players come and go. We have, like, one of my students is out in Kenner somewhere. I haven't seen him in a while. And another friend of mine who dives in and out of town. And she'll be, she's going to be getting back into the bouzouki again.
So what was the band you played with last night?
I was sitting in with the Big Easy Playboys.
And what sort of music is that?
It's Cajun Zydeco, but with this sort of indiscernible twist that you can't find out where one ends and the other begins, which is a lot of fun. Keeps people guessing.
And they call you and they want you to come play bouzouki on that? as
Yeah.
well? So you can play any kind of music on this thing?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm in the process of recording a heavy metal single. I've played.
Okay.
Yeah, I've played blues. I've played country on it. I've played classical.
Are you like a sort of musical genius or something?
No,
Can anyone play? I mean, I can't imagine that.
I wouldn't. It's just that only by default. If you can be the best at anything as long as you pick something that's obscure enough.
Right, right.
Why didn't you pick the guitar? You're just attracted to this for some
I'm
reason.
guitarded.
Everybody plays the guitar, Grant.
Yeah, I know,
Nobody's
but-
playing the bouzouki.
So
Yeah.
it says anyway, Graham gives me this bio about you, or Christian actually, I suppose. It says here that that you've released 7 solo CDs
Yeah.
and that you've been played on the radio in every continent, Antarctica notwithstanding.
Right.
What does notwithstanding mean?
means
Except
with the exception of now.
Antarctica.
Now I don't know. There's a festival there that's part of the section of Antarctica that Australia technically owns, and there's this huge festival that takes place there every year, and I really, 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 really want to play.
They have a music festival in Antarctica.
Yes.
That'd be a good one
in
for
the
you to work
Australian
on,
part of
Becky.
Antarctica.
I don't
It
know.
wouldn't
Yes.
matter if you worked all night there because it's night all the time or day
If
all
a
the time.
floater girl could handle Antarctica.
Yeah.
I mean, I lose it when it's winter here.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
think
mean, I
it's
would-
minus something all the time, I suppose. How come
Yeah.
they have a music festival? I guess they have buildings. It's not an
Yeah,
outdoor
there's-
festival.
I don't know, but I'm
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an outdoor
But
festival.
it's there is actually, I've seen some pictures. There is some sort of pavilion and people are bundled up
Outside?
like there's some sort of
How could you even touch a guitar string outside?
I don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot. That's where you tune it so that you
Down
can
a
play
few.
one four. You can
right,
play
yeah.
one finger chords. You can
That's
do
incredible.
you can play.
Can you tune it so that any of us could play that?
I could tune
Can
it
you
to a straight open chord.
Yeah, just like tune it to Stairway to Heaven. That'd be good.
yeah,
You know, just.
yeah.
I have a question though. So you've got the doubled strings, kind of like a mandolin or a 12-string guitar, and when I picked up the guitar and people talked about a 12-string guitar, I didn't realize that for a long time. I didn't realize that the strings are doubled, so it's
Yeah.
not much different from a 6-string guitar because the two strings are they're tuned in pairs. So you've got
Yes.
2 E's and 2 A's and 2 D's. But
yeah.
do you ever, for the doubled strings, do you ever tune them differently? The 2 doubled strings?
Yes, but not on purpose.
Right. Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
there are some makers that make the lower 2 octaves like a 12-string guitar. But this, I figured with 8 strings, because this thing is so hard to keep in tune, I figured with 8 strings, at least one of them is bound to be in tune at any given point in time.
But there's never a time where someone would take the first 2 strings that are paired and tune them differently.
You could, it starts to put a little bit of pressure if you tune it a little bit higher,
Yeah.
or if you tune it a little bit lower, it starts to sound a little,
Funny.
flatulent.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's I've messed around with it some, but it starts to mess with my head, and the fewer things that mess with my head, the better.
Truth.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
why don't we make you play a song?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely,
an actual
yeah.
whole song right
I
through.
was-
So what sort of stuff do you normally play?
Oh,
So you
me play a song.
Yeah. So you can play anything. So what are you naturally attracted to? What's your favorite? What's your typical?
Well, on a lot of my gigs, I play a lot of Rush songs because Rush are my favorite band. I do a blend
I
of
wasn't
original
expecting
stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of original stuff. I've got some stuff recording that's coming out. I like to keep people guessing. I do a lot of dirty songs for the late night shows.
You write dirty songs.
I do. Or I've got. Well, there's this person who looks just like me. She and I are never in the same building at the same time. But she claims that she's my alter ego. Her name is Bad Beth and Beyond. Like I write some dirty songs. Like there's one called a love song called "Show Me on the Doll."
On the doll.
Show Me on the Doll. It's a love song.
Right. Wow.
Show me on the DOLL.
Yes.
Show me on the doll.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's heavy.
Or I'm like working like. Every now and again, somebody will say, "Hey, do you play any Megadeth?" And then they'll look surprised when I actually do play a Megadeth song.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to play?
I don't know. Do you want something joyful? Do you want something insane? Do you want?
Well, we've got time
like
for two.
insane.
You want insane?
Insane, Becky? Becky
I'm
wants
into that.
insane.
Right.
Okay.
Insane. Okay. One out of that is nothing but pure, unadulterated insanity. It may not sound like it at first, but
Okay.
anything that involves setting things on fire has a little bit of insanity to it.
Okay. I didn't realize that was insane, but all right.
Well, it could be.
Good to know that.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm singing this one. Strike of the lightning, strike of a card, strikes me so funny when caution's ignored. Strike a heart, so fists in the hair makes a spark, rapid combustion that drives back the dark. Matchstick, tell no one I am undone. Armor burned away, free to betray. Friction of matchstick, friction in clouds, thunder and lightning and screaming of crowds. Play on performance, play over time, play on emotions like whiskey and wine. Play simulation, a pale effigy, a hot burning star where your eye used to be. Matchstick, tell no one I am undone. Armor burned away, free to betray. Friction of matchstick, friction in clouds, thunder and lightning and screaming of crowds. Burn like a sinner, burn like a fool, burn like a candle that melts in a pool. Burn like a bushfire, consume hearth and home. Burn off redemption, at last you're alone. Matchstick, tell no one I am undone. Armor burned away, free to betray. Friction of matchstick, friction clouds, thunder and lightning and screaming of matchstick. Tell no one I am undone. Armor burned away, free to betray. Friction of matchstick, friction clouds, thunder and lightning and screaming of crowds.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Beth, good job.
Thank you, guys.
What do you... Sorry about the headphones falling
I
off there in the
got
middle
so
of the
into
song.
it that my headphones fell
Yeah,
off.
crazy. What do you call that?
Matchstick.
Matchstick. All right. So was that insane enough for you, Beck?
It was good.
It
It wasn't crazy insane though. It was great.
There was a lot of insanity that actually caused it to its creation.
The backstory is insane.
What is it?
Got
I'd
it.
tell you
What
more,
happened?
but I'd have to kill you.
Well, you could kill Becky.
No, I'm
You
not,
need to
I'm not
kill
going to
all
kill
of us,
anybody.
right?
No. I'm
don't
just
have to
going
be
to
the
Becky,
let
you've lived a long and fruitful life already. You've started your own business. You worked on Voodoo.
Everything's been
Voodoo.
Things have been
Nice.
great.
Yes.
So, you have to sacrifice yourself so we can hear the story.
Yeah.
No.
Thanks, Becky.
I'm gonna let
no problem.
This will be-
anytime, y'all.
This will be open to interpretation because a lot of my songs, once they're released, all further questions are answered with "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Oh, really? You have to just have like a legal
Yeah.
disclaimer for
Absolutely.
most of your songs?
Absolutely.
So you've had music played in all over the world, basically. So how do you get it out there? How are people
just
finding you?
be absolutely insufferable. knock on doors, send out CDs the old-fashioned way.
So you do it all yourself. You're a
I do it all, yeah.
promoter.
And I started, a lot of the airplay stuff was when I had a lot of energy before I got so disgruntled and old and cranky.
You don't seem old, cranky, or disgruntled, are you?
I'm
Are you angry now?
No, actually, I feel a lot better after singing that song.
There you
Really?
go.
But in general, I mean, do
Little
you find
catharsis.
you're angry about?
No, I'm
You're just making
disgruntled.
that up.
I didn't say I was angry. I said I was disgruntled.
What's the difference between disgruntled and angry?
There is. Well, disgruntled has more letters in it.
Well, it sounds better, and it doesn't sound as sort of negative as angry. Disgruntled sounds like you might be able to get
Yeah.
over it
Someone
with a cup of coffee.
Someone who's disgruntled knows how to keep it deep, deep, deep down within inside. Just keep it down inside there for the right day when it can
Present,
come
present.
out and,
And then be
destroy
angry.
something.
See,
yeah.
that's my problem. If I were an angry songwriter, I'd be making a lot more money because that's where all the money is in angry songs.
Yeah, sad songs, angry songs.
Why
yeah.
can't you
Just-
get there? Why do you have
Because
to
all my
stay
songs are just
disgruntled?
merely disgruntled. you know?
Right, yeah. You really got to.
So you're not angry at all. You're not angry about anything. So
Well,
disgruntled
not right
is-
now.
So disgruntled is not going to lead to angry. Then.
Not
It's
right
just going
now.
to stay disgruntled.
Because once you write a song about setting things on fire, all of a sudden you feel a lot better, and
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so does writing give you some sort of relief?
it does. It's more
Otherwise,
like
you'd have to set shit on fire. For it.
unless I have to set shit on fire, then that gets kind of complicated.
Well, you're breaking the law at that point, probably.
Breaking the law.
Unless you set your own stuff on fire, which is not
Yeah.
illegal, is it?
No,
Yeah,
can't be.
No.
I don't think so.
It's better to write a song about setting shit on fire than actually set shit on fire.
Is it though?
Yes.
Because I don't know. I guess it is.
It is.
If it has the same effect.
Yeah.
If you're no longer disgruntled at the end of it.
No, it's like
Do you have to sing it or can you just write it?
it depends. There's a lot of stuff that I've written that will never ever be heard. Oh my God.
Heard.
Okay, it's time for
Okay.
somebody else to take the microphone because I'm using words like heard and feared.
You write stuff that you don't want anyone to hear because it's so revealing.
Well, or stories that like anything, or just because it sucks. You
well,
know.
that's different.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
But I think you have to push the pen to just for different reasons other than to just write songs. I think.
Yeah.
And I've can't remember the poet talking about it on the radio, but I thought it was pretty useful. The idea that sometimes you're writing and writing specifically not to write a poem.
Right.
This poet talking about that sort of thing. And I don't know if I journal or something, but I sit down to write just as an act of getting something that feels pent up out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I have to say. I don't have an
Yeah.
idea.
Do you have
but
one
to-
such song that you can show us?
Well, let's see. Maybe something. Actually, I was thinking I was going to play you an English song after you got me thinking about The Other Side of the Pond and those old folk songs. But wait, I can do better.
Well, we have time for an English song as well.
No, come on.
All right. By the way, what's going on with the flood outside? Can you guys see out the window?
The flood? Did you
It's
say?
not raining at all.
It's
not raining at all.
No,
It's
it's
Not at all.
Okay.
just dreary.
Disgruntled.
It's just disgruntled.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disgruntled
Oh, yeah, okay.
outside.
As a friend of
Disgruntled
mine
is a great word.
Okay,
is.
so
Really
Okay,
is.
what is it?
here's a new song. This is about creativity, and partly inspired by the Tate Modern in London, which is a modern art museum that blows my mind every time. Just people making strange shit, just going for something, but really seeing it through, and these results that you see, just encourage you that the human condition, your own voice, has a lot to say if you let it speak and don't be brave enough to just go for it. So that's what this is about. Brother, your voice cuts right through the echo. Go stake your claim in the silence. You recite every phrase of the wise words of other men, only to leave your own stories untold. Let all the rest return to the fold, go it alone.
It may not help you to sleep, but there lies the gold. Whatever you find, yours to keep, so go it alone. Deep down inside you, a story untold. Tell us how it goes, go it alone. Sister, your visions cut right through the night by only the glow of your work light. Still your sketches lie hidden in a closet upstairs while you seek permission, but only you and you alone can take us there. Whatever it is, do not be scared to go it alone. It may not help you to sleep, but there lies the gold. And all that you find, yours to keep, go it alone. Deep down inside you, a story untold. Tell us how it goes, go it alone. Go it alone, no one to guide you. Go it alone.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
God,
Thanks,
wow.
y'all.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Don't put that guitar down there.
Yeah.
All
I've
right.
got another job for
I have
you.
a question for y'all. You said you were, when you write, you just kind of write whatever comes to your mind. Do either of you, sit
Sometimes.
down, do you pull from that to write songs, or do you specifically write from start to finish?
What do you
How does
think,
that
Beth?
process work for you?
For me, that start to finish very, very seldom happens. The one Matchstick almost kind of barfed that out. I was not doing too well when I wrote that one. But a lot of times things just come to me and I write down snippets of lyrics or music. Sometimes the music comes first, sometimes the lyrics come first, and I fit it all together like a puzzle. And I've taken to writing down stuff in the middle of the night because I've been sleeping very poorly lately, and so if I wake up in the middle of the night, I just write down whatever comes to mind. I can't see anything, so sometimes then I have to decipher my own writing in the morning, and it's just weird sometimes what my subconscious says.
What sort of things are you
It's
thinking?
fascinating, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you thinking in the middle of the night?
Usually I have to pee.
Is that what you're writing down?
Sometimes I have to pee. Oh,
kinda
so
nice.
bad
What-
that I can hardly
What
see.
sort of things?
I can feel it welling up in me.
Have you ever
Nice.
have you ever
going
written
great.
down anything really great that you've woken up and gone, oh my God, what a great thought?
I have, but it's funny how my perspective, at least that's what I've thought in the morning, and then sometimes my perspective changes and I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with me? But
Why do you
it's,
think you're not sleeping well? That's more worrying.
various things. I think part of it is just having to be on the go all the time. At this point in my life, I am on the road more often than I'm actually home.
Do you have a family or anything?
I don't have any children, at least, none that I'm aware of.
What about boyfriend, husband, what, anything like that?
No,
It's just you by yourself.
it's just me by myself.
Any pets?
No,
So you got no one to leave behind. That's great. So you can just take off whenever you want.
I can, indeed.
Well, that's good.
I
isn't
mean,
it?
I would secretly love a little bit of stability, but until then, I get to wander around looking for cool things to do, and then maybe one day I'll get it right.
What do you mean get it right? It sounds like you got it pretty right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not happy? You're more disgruntled than you are happy?
Oh no, I'm very, very gruntled, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you sound.
I'm not disgruntled
you
at all.
seem pretty happy.
I am quite gruntled at this point in time. What's not to be gruntled about? I'm surrounded by awesome people, and
You're making a living playing music?
I'm making a living
Making a living playing music?
A living,
That's
like in New Zealand.
So you don't have to have a day job. You can make a living playing the bouzouki
I can
in
make
New Orleans.
Yes.
I think there's a lot to be happy about.
I'm quite gruntled.
I
I'm
would
very
think so,
gruntled
yeah.
about that.
Who would you like to meet if you were going to meet someone to leave behind?
Who would I like to meet?
Yeah, what kind of person?
Besides Geddy Lee, the lead singer of Rush.
That would be that's ideal number one.
Yeah.
Geddy Lee, the lead singer of Rush. And what's his situation currently?
Well,
Is
he's
he
married.
single?
He's married.
Who's he
so-
married to,
Yeah. He's
Who to?
He's got to be tired of her by now. you
Yeah,
know.
well, he's on the road all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
They're still playing a lot, Rush, are they?
no, they just finished touring. This was their last tour, their 40th anniversary tour. It was their very last one.
40 years.
40 years playing together.
And what are some big Rush songs that we all ought to know?
You know, oh gosh, you know. Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's time saw your mean read. That's not the right. Yeah, that's not the right key, but you get the idea.
No, not really. Do you know any Rush songs, Becky?
I don't.
Me
I mean,
neither.
I know
wouldn't
of
know
Rush,
one.
but I can't
I
name
know
any
that
songs
it's a
offhand.
band with a double drum kit or something. Is that
Yeah,
that
it's
guy?
well, he
The guy's
used
got
to.
all these symbols around
He's
him.
completely surrounded. Yes, I'm a geek.
That's it. That's the only thing I know about Rush.
I'm a complete geek. I could go on forever and ever, and I would drive all of you crazy, and you would be chasing me out with pitchforks by the time.
Well, you're a musician.
Yeah.
So it's not like some, person, some idiot sitting in their bedroom or their basement
Like,
smoking weed.
Oh my
going crazy
God!
about Rush.
Like the guitar player is like really, really cute, and
Yeah, like you must be something about
like-
the music then. That's
oh my
great.
God, he played this thing in 1716. It was like totally hot.
So what is there about the music that's so great about Rush?
The lyrics, I think it attracts a lot of us misfits, a lot of insomniacs who think too much, a lot of us who just cannot conform to the norm, the ones where be cool or be cast out, and for those of us who were cast out, we're like, yeah, we can adhere to this.
Who cast you out?
Status quo, bro.
The status quo, yeah.
Status quo, the man.
The man.
Really?
yeah.
So you feel like you're a misfit, you're outside of society, that you don't fit in?
Well, I've never ever felt I've never lived anywhere where I felt that I've completely fit in, but I'm okay,
Well,
'cause
join the club. Most people feel like that.
I know, but I was raised
Don't
by
they?
I was raised
you
by
think
feral
that-
dachshunds, and I got kicked out of the pack.
Damn.
I couldn't catch enough badgers.
Do you really feel like you're a misfit that bad that you don't fit in? Because I think pretty much everybody thinks that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Everyone
that's
thinks they're special, first
I'm
of all,
not-
and that they're, different from everybody else.
no. Just
like
remember.
Becky, you think that, right?
So special.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
a
pretty
special.
sure. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks that, right, Andrew? Is it just me?
That they're special or that they're weird? Which one?
Well, not that they're weird, but you think that you're weird if you really take it to the nth degree. But most
yeah.
people feel that they're individual, and that they're, that they're not like everybody else. That they just make an effort to fit in because that's what you have to do.
Right.
But really, you don't really want to be working
Well,
at
I mean,
fill in the blank. What
I-
you really want to do is direct movies or be a rock star.
Oh, I
or,
see.
or own your own city surf
Yeah.
business or something.
I think
something
uh,
adventurous, which most of us don't
That's
do.
what my song was about, Grant. It's about going
Yeah.
alone, buddy.
Go it alone. That's where the gold is.
I think that is the difficulty in my experience of trying to be creative, and it's that thing. No matter what you're doing, if it's a business sense, then you might have an inclination to do it a certain way. But what makes you think that your way hasn't been tried and failed? So why would you do that? You would just go by the template, right? You're trying to be successful. So
that's what
that
most people
pressure.
do, yeah.
That pressure exists everywhere, and. It would take bravery and sometimes stupidity to figure out, and a lot of failure probably to find your own
Absolutely.
way.
Good point.
But having that moxie to do it is the first, I think, step. I mean, so many people don't have the balls to go out and just do it and try.
What gave you the balls to start a business when you didn't really have to? You could have just, you could do anything. You
I
have a
always like
business
to-
degree, right? You have a degree in...
I have a master's in arts administration, so I actually have a fine arts background, always was in painting, and I did a lot of photography. And then when I moved out here, I was working in music and got my master's in arts admin and kind of went the music route. And then I just wanted to try something different, and why not, be my own boss. So I've always kind of liked throwing myself in a weird situation. Like when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. Why not just go somewhere different? The worst that happens is you fail, and then you pick yourself back up.
But did
So,
you feel like a misfit is what propelled you to do that?
I guess. Not necessarily a misfit, but just that I didn't want to sit at a desk all day, or, I wanted to, as cheesy as it sounds, like choose my destiny and, do something for myself.
I don't think that is cheesy. I think that's what I was saying to you, Beth, is it's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do what you're doing.
Yeah. What, they want to play the bouzouki?
I think so. I think there's a lot of people out there desperate to play the bouzouki who have never had the courage to pick one up or even heard of it.
Well, if anybody who is bouzouki curious can find me on my website. We've got
Which
a lot
is Beth Patterson.
BethPattersonMusic.com.
.com, okay, Beth Patterson
if you're
Music.
bouzouki curious, it's okay. This is a
But
safe
if you
place.
feel, what I'm trying to say is that if you feel out of place in the world because you're different, other than playing the bouzouki, which is your own choice, of course, I don't think.
It doesn't really bother me.
Right.
I feel out of place, but it doesn't disgruntle me.
What does it make you feel? Superior?
Gruntled? No. Oh, God, no.
So what does it make
It
you
just
feel?
sort of is what it is. I try not to think about it because a lot of times I think I can speak for a lot of people and say we don't go around thinking, oh my God, I'm so different. There are times that I'm like, I'm a freak, nobody loves me, blah, blah, blah. But most of the time,
I'm a
we're
freak,
not,
nobody loves me. That's two very different things.
But what I'm saying is, the point I'm getting is that we don't really think about it one way or the other. We're just trying to get by day to day, doing our own thing, hopefully trying to harm none and let anybody else harm us. A few practical jokes notwithstanding. But I don't think any of us really goes around thinking about it too terribly much. We're just trying to get by in this crazy old world.
Right, but somehow Rush have captured how you feel.
Yes.
And how
there are
millions
a
of
lot
other
of. There are a lot of other bands that I listen to, but that's my one little weakness.
What's the song that you go back to that's the anthem, the Rush anthem?
There is a Rush song called Anthem.
That's the one.
Was that
yeah.
the one?
No, that wouldn't be the one, but there is.
What's the one you go back to?
There's one. The one that I think has captured the hearts of a lot of their listeners is a song called Subdivisions that talks about what it is, especially the cruelest time in our lives when we're young, junior high, high school. They talk about what growing up, it all seems so one-sided, opinions all provided, the future pre-decided, cast out and subdivided in a mass production zone. Detached and subdivided in a mass production zone. Nowhere is the dreamer or the misfit so alone.
Nowhere is the dreamer or the misfit so alone. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I can't believe I stuffed up a Rush lyric on air, but there's a lot of frabba-jabba behind me, so.
There's a lot of stuff to put you off.
Yeah, but anyway.
Are they British or American Rush?
They're Canadian.
Canadian, somewhere in between.
Hey, you hoser.
Okay. Okay, and how old are these guys now? Like 60?
Oh, they're in their 60s, yeah.
So they've quit. So Geddy Lee, anyway, what does he look like? Because obviously he's not available. So who's the second best after Geddy Lee?
As far as
snag for you.
As far as an ideal partner,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to find somebody who doesn't use me, discard me, or try to kill me. That'd be nice.
Is that what has
Those are
that
good
all
qualities.
happened?
It'd be nice to find somebody who doesn't.
But has
doesn't do
someone
those.
done all that to you, or different people?
Not
have
on
done-
the same day.
No, but someone used you, discarded you, and tried to kill you.
Well, not all
Not
at the
the
same
same
time.
person,
Not the
necessarily.
same person. Yeah, just. I think my standards are kind of low by now.
Well, that's even easier then to hook you up with somebody.
I know.
So being discarded and used is pretty common, but not being killed. Who tried to kill you?
Well, I probably doesn't bear worth repeating on podcast.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
Is it
I
the
know.
We're here.
Did
We
someone
probably
try
got
to
to
kill
it.
you by the traditional method or
yeah,
some other way?
Well,
Not really.
look at that nice shiny subject changer over there. Wow, that is so. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Look how shiny it is.
Who tried to kill you? Was it a guy, a boyfriend type
Look
person,
how
or
shiny that subject changer is.
won't
It's
give
like
it up.
so
someone in the music
shiny.
business?
It's
You can't
so
say someone tried to
sparkly.
kill me and then think no one's going to ask you a question about
It's,
that. Sure.
Well, most people don't. They just kind of shuffle their feet and go, "So, how about them Saints?"
Do they?
It was
Yeah.
me.
It was. We've
I'd
won
love to know
since-
who tried. Wouldn't you like? I mean, used you and discarded you. That's pretty. What's going on out there?
yeah,
raining.
that's
So
just.
how did someone try to kill you? Really? Did you have to call the cops?
I did have to call the cops. Yeah.
And did they come actually? Because it was
No,
New
they
Orleans.
faked it.
It was New Orleans.
Oh, right. Oh, did they come?
They
Yeah.
That was quick. Did the cops show up?
Did they show? Yes, they did.
So it must have been something pretty serious if the cops actually showed
Well,
up.
yeah, but
And did you get wounded or hurt or anything?
I got it. Well, all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Okay, well, you really don't want to talk about that, I can see.
But,
It's only gonna-
it's my own fault. I started joking about my low standards, and as somebody who has a certain something, a certain je ne
Do you
sais
think
quoi.
you attract crazy people? Or?
Well, I'm sitting with you guys, aren't I?
Other than that, well, there's your evidence. No
Truth.
further questions.
Truth.
Okay, listen,
Yeah.
Andrew, we've got to get through these. I'm sorry to stop this conversation.
That's
Beth,
quite
'cause
all
I
right.
know you want to keep talking about this, but I have to tell you something about Uber, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, if you find yourself a few drinks in, and you need a ride home, then Uber is the smartphone app that connects you with a ride at the tap of a button. It's safe, it's easy, it's reliable. You can request a ride at any time, and a car comes directly to you like magic. Your driver knows exactly where to go, and payment is completely cashless wherever you're headed. You can count on Uber for a ride, and if you're one of the few people in the world listening to this and you don't have the Uber app already on your phone, this is what you do. You download it. In fact, you could actually just delete the one you've got and start over. And when you download it, you might have to do it with a different email address. I'm just making this bit up. I don't know whether that's legal or anything. But you can enter the word Happy Hour NOLA in the promotion section of the app, and you'll get a free ride up to $20 value, courtesy of Happy Hour and Uber. That's Happy Hour NOLA. Thank you, too, to Basic Swim and Gym just down the street from City Surf. It is City Surf, right? Not Surf City.
No, City Surf.
City Surf.
City
I don't know why I always think it's Surf City.
People call it that a lot.
They do?
But it's not.
Do you own
That's a
surfcity.com
Crack
as
the
well?
Sky song.
No.
That would be a
City
good
Surf
idea.
Fitness.
Okay, anyway, it's called City Surf. Just down the road from City Surf on the downtown side, on the same side of Magazine Street, is a store called Basic Swim and Gym where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes. With style, you can also wear these clothes to City Surf, right?
Definitely.
You can get a bikini, you can get a one-piece or a cover-up. In fact, everything you need for the beach and the pool is at Basic Swim and Gym. It's right across from the lingerie store, Basics underneath on Magazine Street, which is near Jefferson Avenue, and a little bit further down Jefferson Avenue. Down Magazine Street, actually, on the other side of Jefferson. You can find a store called May's Guitar and Sisters in Christ Record Store. Have you been in there?
No,
yet,
but
Beth?
I've heard of it.
Becky. Becky and Beth is very similar. Beth, have you been into the store?
I have not.
This is a guitar store. This is a place for you. I don't know if they have any bouzouki's or not. I couldn't be sure, but they do have thousands of records and books and a huge range of vintage guitars, vacuum tube amplifiers. That could be good for people like you with your Rush mania. And effects pedals from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Nice.
Do you use effects pedals with the electric bouzouki?
I do.
Hey, check them out then.
Bonzo.
Whether you've never picked up a guitar or a bouzouki in your life, or you've been playing forever, you'll find a gem at May's Guitar on Magazine Street, 3 blocks on the downtown side of Jefferson Avenue. On the river side of the street, go check it out. Thank you, too, to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product, medically proven to prevent a hangover. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website. It's called hdestroyer.com. And write Happy Hour in the coupon code and get 30% off of your order of Hangover Destroyer, courtesy of us here at Happy Hour. And you too can seize the dawn, and allegedly it actually works. When's the last time you had a hangover, Becky?
This past weekend. They've
Oh,
gotten
dear.
bad the past
Good job,
few years.
Andrew. Thank you.
you.
Andrew
Nice,
Duhon on
yeah.
guitar, playing nondescript, what would you call that? Background music.
Commercial music.
Commercial
yeah.
music,
Great.
yeah.
Now, is that somebody's autograph on your guitar?
Yeah, this fella, Bob Tobin, who's a songwriter in North Carolina, was at a little songwriter festival down south, and let's see how that went. So I wasn't planning on using this guitar very much after that festival, and I thought maybe I'll get this guitar signed by people who aren't famous but I really admire or something. And I heard this
Nice.
guy, we passed the guitar around this kitchen table at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just a bunch of old-timers, and this guy played a song, and I thought it was beautiful. And I thought, if I see that guy tomorrow, I'm going to get him to sign my guitar.
Nice.
So the next day I had a little gig, and then as I'm getting off stage, he sees me before I see him, and he says, "Hey man, I really liked your set. Would you sign my guitar?" I was like, "Wait, what? Bob, I want you to sign my guitar." So we were both the first people to sign each other's guitar. It was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't actually had anybody else sign it just yet, but I think I will. Even though
That's awesome to have people who aren't famous but that you really admire. I
Yeah.
think that's actually a much more personable approach
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's more of
Yeah.
a personal thumbprint as to what
Yeah.
makes you tick and
Yeah,
where
it's
you've
not
been.
about an autograph.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
very
it's-
awesome.
Yeah.
Would you like us to sign your bouzouki?
Yeah.
Because we can all do it. I've got a pen right here.
Oh, wouldn't that be weird if you wanted like 2 out of the 3 to sign it, like the real heroes, but then you despised one other person and they were all kind of there? You got to figure out how to navigate that.
Do we have to sign our own names, or could I put Geddy Lee or something like that on?
So I'm losing you a bit because I think somebody knocked my headphones loose.
Oh, really? Which one are you on?
I have no idea. There we go.
one.
Something. There we go.
Oh, it's Wiggly.
It's wiggly. Yeah,
Is that
baby.
better?
Oh, it's always better when it's wiggly.
Okay. Hey, listen, Andrew, you want to... Well, I was going to say, what are we doing next?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. What should we do? I think we should make Beth play another song.
I think we should.
Oh
probably.
God, I feel like
agree.
I feel like I've been hogging the.
No way. No, I'm here every week, so you go ahead
Yeah,
and play
Becky,
one.
is there anything you want to say?
I mean, I
any
can't play any
jokes, or-
songs, so.
Are you sure? I will say
No,
something.
play another song.
These
wanna hear
two
something?
guests probably got the most captivating eyes of anybody we've had on the show. Look at
Oh,
them.
nice, yeah.
Look at their eyes, the two of them.
On you. Yeah.
Thanks.
What is the deal with that? Is it the light in here now, or
guess so.
And now it really is raining outside, by the way.
Yeah, it is raining now.
You've got very dark eyes, both of you. You have very dark eyes,
I do.
Becky, don't
Thank
and
you.
Beth, you do too, right?
I do.
Yeah, that's unusual. What's the cause of that? Genes?
My Spanish ancestry.
What's your ancestry? Spanish, and what are your parents?
For me, it's just my dark, dark soul. I don't know. I'm mostly Welsh, so I have no idea where my freakishly dark eyes come from. But
It's unusual.
it is.
So other people have mentioned it.
Yeah.
Who was the last person to bring that up?
My ophthalmologist, actually, because he asked me if my pupils were dilated, and I had to say I don't know because I can't see my own pupils.
That's how dark your eyes are.
When I go to the eye doctor and they dilate my pupils, and then you're supposed to see how dilated they are, I can't see how. I can't
Well,
see my pupils.
I believe the eye doctor is supposed to see that, not you.
I know.
Perhaps you need to do you have a cheap eye doctor?
I don't know. He's probably.
If he's asking you to tell him whether your eyes are dilated or not,
Well,
it might be time to
Yeah.
move on from the eye doctor.
Probably so.
They are very dark, though. And are your eyes that dark you can't tell if the pupils are dark? Yeah, they probably
They're
are.
not that dark, but
Pretty dark.
thanks.
Pretty cool. Now, we have a little box, a little wooden box. It's sort of the size of a shoebox.
Yeah, this is an Indian instrument. It's called a shruti box. I'm working on an adaptation. Going to the studio tonight. This is going to be a condensed version of something of a Black Sabbath song that I'm adapting.
All right.
With an Indian instrumentation.
Okay. Except that I can't have the whole arrangement with the tablas and the bouzouki solos and things. So I'm going to just do the basics.
Sweet.
This is a drone instrument, and I've found that even in Indian music, it works well with Celtic music. When I do.
That's beautiful.
All these little Celtic songs, but I found it works with this Black Sabbath song.
Sweet.
Because
Okay.
a drone is very essential to a lot of things, especially when you've got the good pedal tones. So. She sits in silence in her midnight boat, half-faded pictures of her dancing girls, her distant dreamer on the seas of time, her happy memories dancing through her mind. And as the seasons turn the days to years, she holds her pictures, hears the silent cheers. The days grow lonely for the dancing queen, and now she dances only in her dreams. In days of romance, she was the queen of dance. She danced the night away.
Okay. That got every single person in Wayfare, and there's a lot of people in here today. Every single person turned around and looked at that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had that
That was
before.
cool.
That's what
So-
happens when I play
Maybe-
with my box in public.
So
can-
what? Sorry, Andrew. Go
So,
on.
no, I was just curious. Can you change the pitch at all? It's just
You
one
can.
tone. Yeah.
It is one. You can change. It's got little stops, so
cool.
you can change them. I have them in a straight, in just straight fifths. My first one I got. I was on spring break when I was in school in Ireland, and half the year I'd studied traditional Irish music, and the other half I'd studied ethnomusicology. And on my spring break. Around that time, we'd learned about Indian music, some of the more modern music, and so I went down to Southall, which is the Indian community of London. I was on my little route on spring break, and I got a shruti box in an area where all the signs are in Urdu or Sanskrit or Hindi or Punjabi or whatever, and got to talking with somebody who actually wrote music. He was a harmonium player. He had a little studio upstairs from this restaurant. And these people kindly showed me where to find a shruti box, and I played that one for years. You can play around with the stops and get different chords and different drones.
So the stops that you're playing with, you can create a different key.
You can.
But in the live performance of the box,
it's,
you don't change.
You don't really, because it's like a tambura or something like
Yeah.
that. It's a drone, and it's so essential to a lot of things. Whether it's the drone of monks chanting, you hear it in the didgeridoo of the Aboriginals of Australia.
Yeah.
You hear it in the 5-string banjo, that constant drone of bluegrass. You hear it in Celtic music. You hear it in Indian music. You hear it in Bulgarian music. It's so common. And my personal theory is that trying to simulate that drone is the closest that we have to trying to express the eternal.
Nice.
Or it's just a very easy instrument to play.
That
you know.
too.
It
Yeah.
is the easiest instrument I've ever seen. You just squeeze it and it doesn't even have any fingering or anything.
Do you want to play with my box?
I'd love to. I don't need to do it right now, but at some point we could.
Here you go.
You could give me a lesson. Okay. So
All
all
you
you
have
do
to
is
do is
actually
you just bounce this.
so you just push and pull it.
Yeah.
But you can kind of hear that intensity changing a little bit, right? You can hear
Yeah.
the whoosh of the air a little bit.
So you
Yeah,
can
it's-
make it
There's
sound.
a little bit of a.
You can do it with some
you
sort
kind
of
of bounce.
feeling.
You kind of bounce this. As soon as it starts to it's got a little bit of a bounce to it. So there is that. You will hear that creak of bellows and things like that.
Do you play the Cajun accordion? It looks a little bit like that.
It's only when I'm very, very, very drunk and people only need me to play about 3 or 4 notes.
It's got that similar sort of accordion.
It does, yeah. The
bellows.
melodeon, yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
is a bellows instrument, but it will make you kind of trance out a little bit.
It's very cool. Thanks for
Pretty
doing
cool.
that. Thanks for playing that.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks,
so
guys.
Becky, what goes on with City Surf? Are you going to just keep that one, or are you going to open another one? Or?
We'd like to expand, not in New Orleans. I think the market's too small. It would just cannibalize itself. So we have rights to the whole state. So nobody else can open City Surf but us.
So what about Lafayette?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got out.
I hear Lafayette is a great market. People have been saying, bring it. So we
It
get
is
a lot of
booming.
people.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
young, it's kind of a college demographic. So I think anywhere that has a university would do really well.
You can bring in some baby alligators. Make sure you stay on the board.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm telling you.
Good idea.
Well, you want to get away from them gators.
How often do you do it, Becky? Do you do it every day?
I teach about 5 days a week,
So
5
you're-
or 6 classes
You're doing
a week.
it with people. So
Yeah,
you're
it's hard
working
to
out.
just kind of walk around when you're teaching. You kind of have to demonstrate a lot of it. But I take a lot of classes too, so I'm there all the time. But
So you're expending a lot of energy every day, like working
Yeah.
out all day.
but you kind of build it up. It takes a while to figure out, I'm sure, performing as well, but being able to speak and work out at the same time took me a little while to get used
Do you
to.
wear a headset?
No, we have one, but we don't. It's not like
pretty rock and
1982.
roll, come on,
I don't
yeah.
know. I
Like
feel kind of
Olivia
like an
Newton.
aerobics instructor,
Right.
when I wear it, but
Jazzercise.
no, I don't wear it.
Do you do jazzercise?
Yeah, we do like step aerobics with it.
Hey, that's cool. So can we just go and try it once?
Yeah, definitely.
just go to
I have free
City
passes
Surf.
for y'all, so come.
Sweet.
Free
Alright.
passes.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, it's super fun though. We do new client deals because it does take a couple classes to get comfortable. The
Okay,
first
so I
time
can go there
you're
and
gonna
not
be-
have to sign up and just try it out and see if
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice.
Okay.
But
City Surf on Magazine Street next to Taqueria Corona. Well, the worst that can happen is you can have a giant burrito next door afterwards.
I mean,
And a
surf
margarita.
first and then go get some tacos.
Yeah.
So
Well, how often do you go to Taqueria then? Pretty often.
Yeah, pretty often.
I was going to ask, if you're burning that many calories a week, where are you crushing food? I mean,
Yeah.
are you giving
There.
yourself?
Question.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
spot.
you get
I
your
do
proteins.
enjoy.
You can eat
Taqueria
anything.
Corona. And I'm like growing up in South Florida. I love a bagel. There's not a good Jewish deli.
There's one.
Steins.
There's
I like
one,
Steins.
Yeah.
I like
Steins is
Steins, but
pretty
I
good.
like bagels from that Maple Street Patisserie
Oh, that
over
place
on
is
off
great.
Magazine.
Yes.
It's right by the Rum House. Oh my God, their bagels are like
There's one on Maple Street and there's one on Magazine Street.
So
that
good.
place, everything
legit.
that guy makes is awesome. Do you ever go
so
there,
good.
Beth? This
Not in a
bakery,
while.
Maple Street Patisserie. I don't know who that guy is, but
Polish.
he's
His
Polish.
name is Ziggy.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that guy knows what he's
It's-
Oh,
doing.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
legit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
so good.
So, but
Arts bagels, yeah? Isn't
Oh,
that-
they went out of business.
Oh,
they
not that one.
they replaced where Arts was.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
You
yeah,
got to
it's the
check this
same
out.
place. So it must be great to be able to eat anything and not put on any weight and never have to worry about it.
I mean,
I love that idea.
obviously I work at it.
yeah,
every
but
day,
if you're working out every day and you're getting paid to work out, it's
Yeah,
your
and
job.
you're like, you know,
True.
And then
don't
you
It's
can
true.
yeah, and then
go
you get
eat
off and you're like,
anything.
hot dog? Yeah, me thinks so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
I'm going to
Yeah.
go
Big
to
bowl of
Dat Dog and I'm
cereal.
going to have 2 pints of beer.
Yeah.
And fuck
go
it, who
for it.
cares?
Yeah, who cares? You
I
just
love that.
burnt it.
Okay, we're out of here. Beth, do we need to say anything about where you're playing, or can we go steal your music from somewhere?
Yeah, I come into New Orleans roughly once a month or every
where?
couple of months. I'm currently hiding out in northeast Mississippi, and I just come Mississippi.
Okay.
Up in Starkville, and then I sneak in. Do
So
a
you
little
live
bit
in
of,
Mississippi now?
Yeah, I
We managed to
commute.
get through the whole entire show without finding that out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's,
Starkville.
Yeah, but I'm playing. Well, I guess by the time this podcast is broadcast, it's irrelevant. But I play here every now and again.
Someone's listening.
Well, I play at the Irish House every now and again. I play at the Kerry Irish Pub. Those are my two regular places to play
Right.
when I come into town.
Okay.
Played Crown
So
and
what
Anchor.
do you do mostly in Starkville? You just hang out at home and play on the back porch or
just
something?
regroup. Do a lot of writing, both writing fiction as well as writing music, and I just use that time to regroup and pull myself together.
And what's it like, Starkville? Are you living in the country?
Yeah, it's in a little area off campus that's nice and quiet. So I wake
Off
up to
what
this,
campus?
off the Mississippi State
That's
campus.
where Mississippi State University
But this is a little area that's kind of walled away from the rest of the city, where it's nice and quiet, and I wake up to the sound of mockingbirds instead of the sounds of somebody barfing on my car.
Well,
It's
better
a
than
nice
barfing
change.
in your car, I suppose.
Yeah, true.
So you're like a total loner.
Yeah.
You're out there by yourself, no pet, no partner, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just you and the bouzouki in Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That would be me.
Just you and the Geddy Lee poster.
Me and the Geddy Lee. Oh, listen, don't get me started about me and the Geddy Lee posters.
All right, I can't get you started because we have to get out of here, so that's the next time.
Or next episode.
Something to save for next time. We have Beth Patterson back, the Geddy Lee poster
Oh, yeah.
story.
It's good to keep them warm, yeah.
And also
Yeah.
who tried to kill you. I would like to find that out on our next outing. Becky Hardin has been here too from City Surf on Magazine Street. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
Beth,
me.
thanks for being here. Andrew, that's it. Our other guest who was a no-show.
I guess he got drunk at the
I don't
earlier
know
happy
I
hour or
don't know.
something, yeah.
Graham, what happened to this guy? Graham's too busy texting someone she doesn't know. What happened to the guy that was supposed to be sitting over in this chair here? Do we know? Do we know what happened to Josh something or other? We don't know. A treat in store. Hey, look, you've got Beth Patterson's website up. Hey, thanks for joining us. The voice that you just almost heard was Graham DePonte, our producer. Our music director is Christian Unruh, and our technical director is Thomas Walsh. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can sit around the table for about an hour and remain upright, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also check out some other shows, like, for example, many other hours of happy hour past that you can dip into. There's Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti live from Commander's Palace to listen to, as well as True to the Game with the hilarious and fabulous Chris True, who now has an MTV show, by the way, called Air Sex. Check that out as well. Check out Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canata, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, Milo's, is it Lightning?
No, that's a bus.
It's a
going by.
bus.
Big
Milo's
flashing
Music
light.
Parlor with Kim Vu and the podcast about death. Death, the podcast, as well as questions from the waiting room with psychiatrist Nick Pajic and the satirical mental health show called Psych Ward. It's all on itsneworleans.com. Psych Ward features Dr. Ross. Check that out, by the way, if you have nothing to do for the next 20 minutes. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com, see what a bouzouki looks like, and on our Facebook page as well. These photos are taken today by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this show on your podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you would, to stop what you're doing immediately and rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown, New Orleans, where you can come and enjoy a cocktail at happy hour between 3 and 6 and get it for half price, as well as the whole appetizer menu. Or come on the weekends and enjoy brunch. Happy Hour is a production of I Know Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everybody around here, the table at Wayfare and back at our office at I Know Broadcasting, I'm Grant Morris. Thanks for joining us. See you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Celebrate Venus Fashion Week and discover the new fall fashion collection while saving at Venus. This weekend only, spend $100 and get an additional $15 off. Spend $150 and get $30 off. Just go to Venus.com and use the promo code SWEATER to save today.